I really love EastWest, so there is some technique in my head, but I didn't know how to write or use. But starting using EastWest, giving me more sense like how to use different techniques with instruments. So it's kind of like my Bible. My favorite ComposerCloud library is Silk because I love to write something contemporary with something unexpected.
My favorite's got to be the Hollywood Orchestra. It's really good. A lot of really good sound of the orchestra and lots of different articulations.
For me, it has to be either Silk or it has to be the Fantasy Suite, the Hollywood Fantasy Suite.
My favorite ComposerCloud Plus library is definitely Silk, especially the Persian Empire. The Duduk sample is probably the best that I've heard.
It's one of the best, if not the best, sample library. They love the ease of use, and the sounds are right there with what they need to pretty much handle any kind of situation, whether it's orchestral or ethnic or video game, whatever, it's all there for them.
A recent project that I used EastWest for was what we recorded right here at EastWest, the Game of Thrones main title arrangement. And I'm going to use the hammered dulcimer and fantasy strings to layer over the recorded strings.
Last semester, for CSUN Studio Ensemble, we recorded at EastWest Studios, thank you very much. And I used a lot of string libraries from EastWest's Hollywood Fantasy series. And some stuff from Silk as well. I'm adding some of those for like the more ethnic instruments.
A recent project that I worked on using EastWest instruments, I was listening to Hook, and I really wanted to write something close to some sort of flying theme. I think in particular, the one I used the most in there was probably Hollywood strings. Obviously, you can't have a flying theme without string melodies.
I used Ancient Kingdom for sure. I used those voices for more dark, eerie, mysterious sound. Everyone loved it, and it became one of my favorite cue.
Speaking for myself, because I was once a student, I know getting sounds was quite difficult, and good sounds were very hard to get. ComposerCloud just makes it easy to get sounds that are usable and competitive and that they can build a career on using.
Every single time I open Logic, I go to the EastWest and then I just like check if there's any missing. I think I just like really checking all the time to have all the composer pack every day, maybe. I love it.
So I tend to download the entire library as opposed to downloading the individual ones. Downloading everything just works for my workflow.
I don't have a big external hard drive for my laptop, so I pick and choose what I want and which instruments that I think I need the most.
Very often composers are limited by their palette, and ComposerCloud offers such a wide palette that it really gives them a very open avenue of sounds that they can plow through, that they don't have to worry about spending time looking for particular sounds.
With the ComposerCloud, there's so much that is offered that sometimes I'm thinking, okay, I have a general idea of all the sounds that are in here, and then I look through them and I'm like, yeah, no. There's still a lot more that I haven't checked out yet.
It's critical for young composers to not only be able to write in different styles, but to write in different contexts. We're in the age of a multifunction tool. As a musician, as a composer, you've got to be able to cover a lot of ground. The days of really just specializing in one thing, they're not over, but they're much more restricted than they once were. The more things that they can cover, I always tell them the better chances that you will have of getting ahead and surviving in a very competitive business.
My first step in my creative process is loading up a template and trying to find the right sounds. I think sound selection is the most important part of the creative process, so I would just probably spend hours just going through sounds and seeing what I think I like the best.
Well, first the idea pops into my head. I'll probably start with piano as a piano sketch using the Steinway library, my favorite piano library. I'll use that and probably just start orchestrating off of that.
Normally, I have an idea in my head and then I play it out on the piano, and I just improv a little bit on the piano to come up with something that works, because for me, if I improv something on the piano, it becomes it's more natural because it's coming straight from here, essentially. Or sometimes if I have the sounds in mind first, I'm like, okay, I want strings on the melody here, or like synths over here, or like this type of instrument over here, and then I will go into my libraries and be like, okay, EastWest has this, I can use this, or this ComposerCloud thing has this, so I use one of those.
If I see something, I hear some kind of music. So it's kind of easy for me when it comes like it has a media or even writing. I always like put the notes right next to my computer and then start creating chords, choose different instruments, put in the counterpoints. I always write melody the last. A little bit weird, I know, but that's how I do it.
To find the best sound, I would just read through the descriptions that the library gives you. And once I download that, I check through each of the subcategories and categories of the instruments. At a deeper level, I would just go through each one of them and see how it interacts with the music that I'm making.
I will have a color palette in mind, and then what I would do is I would scroll through each of the East-West samples and just be like, oh, what type of sounds are there? And then sometimes I'll find like a certain sound that inspires like a melody or inspires like a chord progression or a certain like harmonic palette, and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna use this right here. I'm gonna use that one right there.
With ComposerCloud Plus, I first have to think of what mood and what kind of piece I want to write. Then if I want something, you know, exotic or outside of the modern Western realm, then I'll just go to Silk and I'll just go to that and I'll have accents from there. Like maybe I'll use a Kamench or I'll use the duduk.
I think it depends on which genre or mood I want to compose. If it's score for the film, I always go for the Hollywood. And then if I really want something orchestral for no screen, no media, then I always go for the symphonic. If I want to go write something eerie, I always check the choirs first. Right now, Ancient Kingdom always, but I used to use Voice of the Empire for sure. So I think it depends on which genre, which mood that I want it, but those lists are the first go-to ComposerCloud that I always check before I write the music.
ComposerCloud provides a wide and diverse selection of sounds, and in terms of facilitating the type of work that they're going to be called on to do, which can be anything from the very most traditional things to very exotic things, it's invaluable.
A tip or trick that I wish I'd have known.
I wish I earlier went through all the sounds and went through everything, because there's still like hidden gems that I'm finding to this day that I didn't know about, that I wish I definitely knew about earlier.
Honestly, just keep looking. Just keep looking, because sometimes you'll have a sound in mind, or you'll try to capture a mood that you don't really know what type of instrument fits with it, and then you find that one sound. I'll have that one sound that you're looking for that'll complete your color palette essentially.
The tips for people who doesn't not using EastWest, definitely get it ASAP. That was my regret, and then that was the only tip. I wish I knew it earlier, because it totally changed my life. I got more variety with the writing. My musical imagination like expanded so quickly, so widely, and I wasn't able to work with a lot of orchestra before, so it's giving me more sense, and then I'm also learning more techniques from the EastWest. So definitely, if you are not having it, get it ASAP.